spider, and I wasn't touching it. And then I kind of saw that little stink bug shape, and I'm like, not going to happen. I had to earn that man card.
Yeah, it seems like every evening we have something going on, and it's like, can't get it done. Like, we're going to start rolling out of bed at 6 o'clock. My husband's not too happy about that because he's used to rolling out of bed at 7:20 and being at work at 7:30.
Does it ever slow down? Not the bad thing is that you get out. Go to sleep. You're going to get used to it.
Yeah, he's coordinated.
I know. I fought that clock. I'm about ready to carry it to
I have a digital one that is 9 minutes slow, and it's one of the ones that automatically sets itself. I can change it, and it flips it right back.
Oh my gosh.
It's one of those, what do they call those?
Atomic.
Yeah, it's one of those, but it's wrong.
Missing a few laps. Missing a few laps.
Yes.
I'm going to rely on your glasses since I don't have mine. Of course.
Yeah, 20 seconds.
Good evening, everyone. We'd like to call to order the Guthrie Public Schools Board of Education regular monthly meeting for Monday, September 13th, 2021. Roll call, please.
Davis. Here. Smedley.
Here.
Schroeder.
Here.
Plagg.
Here.
Salee. Pearson.
Here.
Bennett Johnson.
Here.
Madam President, we have a quorum.
Join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
As we begin this meeting, would you please join me in a moment of silence, please? Thank you. Agenda item number 6, student recognition.
Madam President, we are going to delay any student recognitions until next month, and we look forward to returning to the Student of the Month at that time.
Thank you. Agenda item 7, comments to the board by registered citizens.
We have none.
Comments to the board by board members. Agenda item number 8, the superintendent's report.
Thank you. For the most part, we've had a smooth start to the school year. There have been some challenges along the way, and most of those are good in nature that we're having to face some of them. That segues to my next topic. Our enrollment numbers are back near where we were prior to the pandemic. As of today, we had 3,376 students enrolled in the district, which is 778 more than we had on October 1st of last year. So they have definitely come back. With that huge influx of students, we got used to having small class sizes last year, and now some of our class sizes are larger than we would like, but it is challenging, to say the least, at this time to go out and find new teachers as a remedy, and in some cases we don't have classrooms that are available. Again, a good problem to have for our district. It speaks to the fact that the community has confidence in what we're doing. We're still continuing to have supply chain issues with our projects, including HVAC work at Guess and the junior high gym, as well as the several scoreboard installations in our athletic venues, and we're fighting through those. And it's no secret that those things are not just unique to Guthrie Public Schools. That's kind of going around everywhere. Our COVID infection numbers for Logan County took a small dip when they were announced last Wednesday. Good news for sure. Some concerning news, and not being political here at all, but as of last Tuesday, our county ranked 70th out of 77 counties in Oklahoma for vaccination rates. Fortunately for us, right now, as of 4 p.m. today, we currently have 52 active student cases and 3 active staff cases. I would characterize that as trending down, but these numbers can go up and down pretty quickly. I think that we are doing a fairly good job as a district with, and I've talked with Nurse Devereaux, our numbers are going to be higher than they were last year because we have more kids. And so it just kind of goes, it's a logical conclusion that we're probably going to have higher COVID numbers than we experienced a year ago. But we are doing the best we can to keep those numbers as low as possible. And I applaud the principals for their efforts as they move students throughout their buildings. This is something that we received today. We received an interpretation that indicates that public schools are not subject to the recently announced federal vaccine mandate for workplaces with more than 100 employees, since we are not subject to OSHA regulation. And then an announcement for the board members. The OSSBA has a Region 6 meeting scheduled for Thursday, September 23rd at the Clara Looper Center, which that is the Oklahoma City Public Schools Administration Building. If you'd like to attend, please let Samantha know so she can register you. And I believe you should get an email from the OSSBA, but that is for some continuing ed points, and then you also have a they have a meeting prior to the official meeting that you can get some points, and then there's a dinner in between, and then the other portion of the meeting. So if you want to attend that, please let Samantha know as soon as possible, since that is right around the corner. That is my report.
Okay. Well, Dr. Simpson, as you've noted, even though there's not a mask mandate for the schools, any parents or students that feel the need to take a precaution and wear a mask, we would encourage you to do so. Agenda item number 9, the consent agenda. All of the following items are of a routine nature, normally approved at board meetings. They'll be approved by one vote unless any board member desires to separate any one or all of these items. The consent agenda consists of the discussion, consideration, action on the items listed in the agenda. Do we have a motion?
Madam President, I move we approve the consent agenda.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Roll call, please.
Davis.
Yes.
Smedley.
Yes.
Schroeder.
Yes.
Plagg.
Yes.
Pearson.
Yes.
Bennett Johnson.
Yes.
We have 6 ayes and 0 nays.
Agenda item number 10A, recommendation, consideration, and action upon the Gifted and Talented Committee.
Page 85 of your board packet. I'm trying to catch up. Covered a lot of ground right there. This is an item that we bring to you annually, and on page 85, you see the recommendation of Ms. Young, our Director of Special Services for the Gifted and Talented Committee for this year. We would recommend approval.
Madam President, I move that we approve the Gifted and Talented Committee for 2021-2022.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Davis.
Yes.
Smedley.
Yes.
Schroeder.
Yes.
Plagg.
Yes.
Pearson.
Yes.
Bennett Johnson.
Yes.
6 ayes, 0 nays.
Agenda item 10B, recommendation, consideration, and action to approve the transcription of math and science credit options taught at Meridian Technology Center.
Page 86 through 91 of your board packet. This is an annual item to allow students that take coursework at Meridian Technology Center to also be able to count as Guthrie High School credit for math or science courses as they take that as part of their curriculum and Meridian. It requires an annual adoption by the board. Recommend approval.
Madam President, I'll make a motion to approve the transcription of math and science credit options taught at Meridian Technology Center.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Davis.
Yes.
Smedley.
Yes.
Schroeder.
Yes.
Flagg.
Yes.
Pearson.
Yes.
Bennett Johnson.
Yes.
6 ayes, 0 nays.
Agenda item 10C, recommendation, consideration, and action upon professional development committee for the 2021-2022 school year.
Page 92 of your packet contains the recommendations that Ms. Walters provided for the Professional Development Committee for this school year. This is similar to item A with the gifted and talented, requires an annual adoption by the board. Would recommend approval.
Madam President, I move that we approve the Professional Development Committee for 2021-2022 as listed in our packet.
Second?
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Davis.
Yes.
Smedley.
Yes.
Schroeder.
Yes.
Flagg.
Yes.
Pearson.
Yes.
Bennett Johnson.
Yes.
6 ayes, 0 nays.
Agenda item 10D, recommendation, consideration, action upon agreement with Career Staff Unlimited for psychoeducational and psychological evaluation and behavioral services for 2021-2022.
Pages 93 through 105 contain this agreement. We are using, a portion of this will be paid for by a grant from the State Department of Education for to assist in counseling services. And we would recommend that this be approved tonight. The remainder of the cost to the district will be paid for out of our ESSER funds.
Madam President, make a motion that we approve the agreement with the Career Staff Unlimited for psychoeducational and psychological evaluation and behavioral services for 2021-2022.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Davis.
Yes.
Smedley.
Yes.
Schroeder.
Yes.
Flagg.
Yes.
Pearson.
Yes.
Bennett Johnson.
Yes.
6 ayes, 0 nays.
Agenda item 10E, recommendation, consideration, and action to adopt district policy C30, direct deposit for payroll.
The next 5 items on the agenda are policies that I placed in front of the board and the public last month for a first reading, and we are recommending adoption tonight. The first one is policy C30, direct deposit of payroll for our employees that are full-time or with the district. Recommend approval.
There's no changes to any of these since the last meeting, correct?
No.
Madam President, I'll make a motion to adopt new district policy C30, direct deposit of payroll.
Second?
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Davis.
Yes.
Smedley.
Yes.
Schroeder.
Yes.
Flagg.
Yes.
Pearson.
Yes.
Bennett Johnson.
Yes.
6 ayes, 0 nays.
Agenda item 10F, recommendation, consideration, action to adopt new district policy D51, lactation policy.
D51 is on page 107 of your packet. Senate Bill 121 from the last legislative session requires school districts to adopt this, have a policy that spells out that we will provide a room for nursing mothers, and we would recommend approval.
Madam President, I make a motion that we approve new district policy D51, lactation policy.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Davis.
Yes.
Smedley.
Yes.
Schroeder.
Yes.
Flagg.
Yes.
Pearson.
Yes.
Bennett Johnson.
Yes.
6 ayes, 0 nays.
Agenda item 10G, recommendation, consideration, and action to adopt new district policy F50, suicide awareness.
F50 is on page 108 of your board package, and we have already gone through this training as a district with our staff. We did that before school started, and we have to do that by every 2 years, biennially, every 2 years anyway. And so recommend approval of this policy.
Madam President, I move that we adopt new district policy F50, suicide awareness.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion?
By any, I knew I'd get it.
Roll call, please.
Davis.
Yes.
Smedley.
Yes.
Schroeder.
Yes.
Plagg.
Yes.
Pearson.
Yes.
Bennett Johnson.
Yes.
6 ayes, 0 nays.
Agenda item 10H, recommendation, consideration, and action to adopt new district policy F51, foster care plan.
Page 109 through 112 of your packet is F51. This is a policy recommended by our and written by our attorneys to put us to maintain compliance in Title I of ESSA. Every school district is required to have this, and so recommend approval.
Madam President, I'll move that we approve the new district policy F51 foster care plan.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Davis.
Yes.
Smedley.
Yes.
Schroeder.
Yes.
Plagg.
Yes.
Pearson.
Yes.
Bennett Johnson.
Yes.
6 ayes, 0 nays.
Agenda item 10I, recommendation, consideration, and action to adopt district policy G15, athletic events, broadcasting, and streaming rights.
Page 113 of your packet, G15 was necessitated by Senate Bill 302, and we'll have another agenda item next to enter into an agreement. This is essentially memorializing what we have been doing in the past with our athletic events. Recommend approval of the policy, and then we'll get to the next item on the agenda where we ratify the agreement.
Madam President, I move that we adopt new policy, new district policy G15, athletic events, broadcasting, and streaming rights.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Davis.
Yes.
Smedley.
Yes.
Schroeder.
Yes.
Plagg.
Yes.
Pearson.
Yes.
Bennett Johnson.
Yes.
6 ayes, 0 nays.
Agenda item 10J, recommendation, consideration, and action upon agreement with Evans Sports LLC for broadcasting and streaming rights for 2021-2022.
This agreement will assure Guthrie Sports Page the ability to broadcast away games, and was written by our attorneys and is agreeable by Evans Sports LLC. Recommend approval.
Madam President, I'll make a motion we approve the agreement with Evans Sports LLC for broadcasting and streaming rights for 2021-2022.
Second.
Really enthusiastic.
Like the guy.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Davis.
Yes.
Smedley.
Yes.
Schroeder.
Yes.
Plagg.
Yes.
Pearson.
Yes.
Bennett Johnson.
Yes.
6 ayes, 0 nays.
Agenda item 10K, recommendation, consideration, and action upon choosing the ACT as the district's high school academic assessment for the 2021-2022 school year.
There's a memo on page 116 of your board packet of an explanation. Mr. Ogle met with a group of people, parents, counselors, teachers, and actually had a school board member also who's not present with us this evening. As they discussed everything, the unanimous recommendation of the committee was to choose the ACT as the district's high school academic assessment for this school year. And if you have any questions, Mr. Ogle is present to answer them.
Madam President, I make a motion that we approve the choosing of the ACT as the district's high school academic assessment for 2021-2022.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Davis.
Yes.
Smedley.
Yes.
Schroeder.
Yes.
Plagg.
Yes.
Pearson.
Yes.
Bennett Johnson.
Yes.
6 ayes, 0 nays.
Agenda item 10L, recommendation and consideration and action upon agreement with Synergistic LLC for energy management assessment.
Mr. Bilyeu is here with Synergistic in case we have some questions. We met with both the property committee and the finance committee and received a presentation from Mr. Bilyeu regarding what Synergistic does and what they could do for our school district. And you have a contract in there that we are recommending approval on. And if there are questions regarding that contract, I'm sure that either myself, Mr. Thompson, or Mr. Bill, you'd be glad to answer them.
I have a couple questions. At what point will we get accurate estimates on what our net profit will be? Because I know you don't have that information at this point in time.
Right. We'd love to come back and give a report to the board at least once a year or twice a year, whatever works for you. But you're going to have information, Cody, Dr. Simpson, information continually throughout the program. That is, you'll have that at your request.
Okay. Also, in the contract, there's pretty good penalty clauses for us. They call them work fees, but they're penalty clauses. The way I read it is we're in there for 5 years or we're not, or we're going to get highly fined. So I guess my question is, what if you don't produce? What's your penalty?
You don't know, if we don't live up to our end of the contract, then we're not partners with Guthrie anymore, and you don't owe us anything. The clause that's the work fee that's in the contract is just, we're not a pay-as-you-go type vendor, so that just covers our work that we're doing with our engineers and our software. We're very top-heavy with our investment in the district, and but if we don't live up to our end of the bargain, which 35-year track history, we're going to work our tails off for you.
Doug, I have a question. You gave us a projection in the Finance Committee meeting.
Hey, Doug, could you come up here? The microphone right here is not picking you up there.
You gave us a projection in the Finance Committee meeting of what you thought our net savings would be. Question number one, our net savings, they're based on the same size schools? Is that how you used to drive at these figures?
We looked at the data that was provided by the district of your utility spend, your cost per square foot, as well as the region and what we're able to do with other districts as well, and that's how we derived the projections. And we try to be very conservative with our projections, but where it comes into factor as far as no risk for the district, we have to be able to save you enough to cover your investment as part of the program. But we are fairly certain that we're going to be able to save you over 5 years 20 to 25%, probably closer to the 25%.
In the state of Oklahoma, how many clients do you have?
We have, let's see, Bartlesville, Pryor, Tulsa Tech. We have at least, I believe, 5 and several that are out of contract from not too many years ago. Okay. Actually, yes.
Okay, and with those clients that you do have they all been success stories?
They have been. Yes, sir. Matter of fact, Broken Arrow is one of our districts that we just celebrated $3 million in savings. They renewed. They went through a 5-year contract and then renewed for another 3 just within the last several months.
Thank you.
Sir.
My other question is probably for Cody. Cody, we, in the last few years with you here, with Dr. Simpson here, we have been doing some great energy savings. We put in new lighting, we're looking at the HVACs, the chillers. I mean, we have been aggressive on our own in doing this. So besides going around and telling people to turn off their lights, tell me the benefits.
It's more than just turn the lights off or turn the thermostat up or down. It's the system they bring in is Greenex was called. Gets into our system, they're able to read things and be able to show us different things that are going on. And when I saw what they're basing their savings on, our last bill was $620,000, okay? And when you tell me you can have a gross of over $900,000 in 5 years and a net of $460,000, and what they can provide, that we can only go so far, okay? That's a big savings. That averages about $92,000 a year in our savings for what the teacher position, whatever it may be, you know what I mean? So it'll enable us to help us, some of the things, State's Group helps us with the chillers and boards and things like that. And some things we do on our own. Our HVAC units, our package units, including chillers and things like that. They'll be able to help us determine what's the best efficient units to buy, purchase, and things like that. Even we come back and tell you, this unit's going to cost $100,000, okay? But in the next savings on the efficiency rating on the energy and everything else, maybe it will save $110,000 on that, okay? They're going to be able to help us, I believe, save us more money, help us be more efficient in what we're trying to do. I can only be in so many spots on a given day, okay? They're going to have a guy here working weird hours, working nights, weekends, holidays, and things like that. And it's no different than the night. The high school is busy, BOC, the high school, so we may be doing something that I can get my eyes on all the time. Make sure the thermostats are turned down and things like that. So I think with the help over the next 5 years, it will be beneficial to us in Guthrie and be able to save us some money and be able to see the energy, MEPs I call them, mechanical, electrical, plumbing, water, whatever you call them, are ever changing. And they have the knowledge and professionalism of their staff to be able to help us make sure we're getting the best bang for our buck when we're putting things in. For as far as HVAC units, lighting, are we getting the right lighting when we need the right lighting, okay? And then we also know our weaknesses. I know after February, I know where our weaknesses are. And so when we're dealing with these people, synergistics, that's how I talk, sorry. With synergistics, we'll be able to help them help us be more efficient in what we're trying to do. Because I learned some stuff during February I didn't know until February hit us in minus 14 degrees. But I think that the energy specialists will be able to be out there, you know, making sure that we're doing what we need to be doing and keeping our buildings safe. Where we don't have the, hopefully we don't have the catastrophic instances we had this past February. So I think it's just more than, I know it's more than just turning on the lights on and off or turning down the thermostat up or down or whatever. It's more complicated than that, and they have the technology and the professional staff to be able to help us move forward. And we are moving forward. That's what we've done the last 6 years, my 6th year I'm in, and we're going to keep moving forward what we're doing. And I know you guys know this, but remember, everything new doesn't calculate into what Synergistics is talking about. That's going to be taken out of that equation on the savings and everything. Am I correct, Doug?
Yes, sir.
So everything that we replace, that calculations on the savings is based on what we have today and not what we're stepping up to new units or new lighting or whatever it may be. Part of that's windows and things like that, because we know in some of our buildings we still have single pane windows. That's our weak points that I talked about that we need to work on as well. That's your question.
So yeah, so basically when you said that savings should increase with the new things we're doing that haven't been calculated into these numbers yet.
Yes.
And bringing focus and consistency, as Cody mentioned, you can't be everywhere all at once. So we bring people to help augment your staff. We can't do anything by ourselves. It is a lot of teamwork. But with Cody's expertise and the folks here and the culture here in Guthrie, we're looking forward to being able to join your team and really help put that money back into your budget and back towards your kids.
We've been very aggressive with many of our things to save money. And the notion that spend a little bit more on the front side of things to save a lot more on the back side of things. I truly believe that this program takes us to a different level if we employ it with fidelity.
Doug, would it be fair to say that the key ingredient in this whole equation is the hiring of the part-time specialists to monitor the program more than anything else, more than the software, the training?
It's a very important part because that's the personal aspect that you see every day. That's the face of the program in Guthrie. But it's also that person is supported by the software that we deploy as well as our engineering and our expertise. We get down to the building and meter level. We're looking for anomalies and we're looking for alert resolution to that. Yeah.
Any other questions? Thank you, Doug.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Motion.
Madam President, I'll make a motion to approve the agreement with Synergistic LLC for energy management assessment.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's a great program. These penalty clauses bother me a lot. The other contract, we can only contract for 1 year, I recognize that, but this is for 5 years. There's no way out of it without us paying. And that the other contracts we do for 3 years, like the cafeteria and stuff, they have to produce, or they pay us. I mean, I don't know, there's just something that's, it's not that it's not a good program, I'm just personally uncomfortable, and that's all I can say.
So it's a 5-year contract. We renew it yearly with it because we can't have a contract more than a year.
Yes, that's, and just for edification of the board, this is not the original contract submitted to us by Synergistic. This was modified by our attorneys in several locations, and Synergistic accepted the suggested modifications by Rosenstein, Fist, and Ringo.
And you have the opportunity to renew this every year. So if we're not living up to
I know that, but there's a big penalty clause in there too, about the renewal every year. I just want everybody to at least see that and know that we have to give them 90 days notice, and at the end of 5 years, it automatically renews again. If you haven't notified them 90 days before, you're renewed, and those things need to be, everybody just looked at, and those are the things.
And those are conversations that we do have way before any kind of automatic renewal. That's with all of our clients. We're in constant contact with your folks about those kind of things.
I completely understand why you've got your verbiage in there and the protection of yourself. But at the same time, we're trying to get the best investment for our school system, so you have to understand our apprehension when we read that.
Is there any adjustments that can be made on that, where it's yearly or renews in a different way or not?
The reason, and our attorney, Mike, spoke to him today, and he's not, he understands. He's worked through these in other school districts before. They represent Bartlesville, who's one of the schools, and they also represent, I believe, Tulsa Tech. The reason that they have it in there is because of the upfront investment that Synergistic is required to make in order to provide the services. And he told me, and this probably happened prior to Doug ever being part of the company, but he told me of school districts that had, after 2 years, just walked away, and it was not, the company lost money on it because they had the upfront investment on the front side of it and were not able to recoup their costs that they'd already placed into the client.
And that's another reason why we make it to where it's no risk to the district, because we're working directly through your utility budget, saving the money out of that utility budget, again, that you can have that net return that you can put back to your kids. So, and again, you try to make it to where, again, where in Oklahoma you have to be able to review that on an annual basis. So.
Would it be fair to say your fee is prorated over the 5-year period?
It is. It's less as it goes along. Yeah. But we are very, very top heavy. To get those kind of savings that we're talking about, we are very top heavy with the engineering and the software. We get started from day one, before day one. If this was October, with this being an October 1 start, if approved, the moment that we get a signed contract, we are starting immediately with our operations team, getting to know, beginning to map out your buildings, map out your systems, and start developing a plan. So we have a lot of people in here really early on in the program. Typically, we start freeing up cash within the first 3 to 4 months because of the heavy investment that we put into the program at the very beginning. And that's any program, whether you're small, Guthrie type size, or Broken Arrow type size. But our track record is, I understand your concern, but it's a rarity that happens. A lot of our clients, I've worked on 3 or 4 this year alone that have renewed. And so our job's to knock it out of the park for you, to where that's not even a consideration.
So you said you have how many districts in the state of Oklahoma?
I want to say around six currently in contract.
Through the history of the company, they've had
multiple.
I've been at 2 districts. In fact, they had Guthrie at one time. They were when it was energy management.
Well, that was my question, because obviously we have hundreds of districts in the state of Oklahoma.
Correct.
So what would you say is the biggest hurdle for most districts? Because to me, if it works as well as what you say it does, then why aren't all districts doing this?
We have like I said, our role typically has been over the years is to come in and partner with the district and teach the district how to fish. That was the business model several years ago. What changed for us was the advent of our new software that we developed to be able to monitor things at the meter level and be able to alert our energy specialists when there's an anomaly in energy use. That changed for us. It used to be that every single district, regardless of size, hired the energy specialist. We would train, we would support, we would work through the multi-year contract, and then the district would continue on with the program. And that's what many of the districts in Oklahoma had done to successfully. Some, because of turnover, different people in different positions, the energy savings gets put on the back burner and different things become different priorities, and then you come back and look at it again and see whether or not it makes sense to partner again. So that's where we're at with a 35-year track history, big districts, small districts, coast to coast.
Thank you.
Do you guys help identify with the administration, the individual that would be put in this position, or is that strictly up to school system?
We do. We work together. That is a partnership. We look to identify that person because we know what we're looking for. The district has good information about people that we want to hire local, so the district is a good resource for that, to find that right person. So we do provide that together. We do the interviews together. Absolutely.
And then like they would answer to Cody, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. Okay. They would.
Cody, how did you come across them, or what research, have you done into kind of what the services they provide?
I'm sorry.
How did you hear about their services, or have you seen this, or just some of the research you've done on what they provide?
They were at Oklahoma City, when I was at Oklahoma City Public Schools. So they were just getting on board when I left there. So they contacted us to come here. But I have worked with them with Oklahoma City Schools. They've changed since Oklahoma City Schools. They changed their program up a little bit, but I think it's more efficient, better for us, and it was back in the days. That's where I'm looking from. So,
In your opinion, you think it could be a savings or successful for the district? You know the ins and outs better than anyone.
I believe they can take us to that next step up with what we're able to do now. That's what I see. That's what I see happening. We need a little bit of assistance continuing to move forward and make sure we're doing the right thing for the school district, saving us money, but also making it more energy efficient, things like that. But it's ever changing. It's getting to the world of energy and saving energy management that's above my head. I've dealt with a lot of energy. I've dealt with energy audits and all this kind of stuff before. It's always been, except for I guess 6 months or a year while I was up on the city, it's always been Cody. You know what I mean? Sometimes, even I'm a sports guy, so I would go in different analogies. The difference between some and others is like Jack Nicklaus is my favorite golfer. I think he's the best ever. But there's a guy named Tiger Woods. Some people think he is the best ever. Okay, he has coaches. He helped. He was playing the best golf ever. He was winning all the majors and everything else. But he went out and got help to make him better than he was. That's what I think we're trying to do here tonight. Does that make sense? That's what I'm looking for tonight. I believe synergistics can take us to that next level where we need to be, where we can see where we need to be, and shake your head, yes, Lee?
Yes, I'm agreeing with everything you're saying. I want to brag on Cody just a little bit. When we did our analysis, Guthrie is running at about 95 cents a square foot. We see a lot of clients on that initial run that's over $1 a square foot. So he's done a lot on his own to get you to that level. We want to help take him, as he mentioned, to that next level. When we look at our projections, we think we can get you down into the 70s per square foot. And that's money that instead of sending it out of your budget, we can recapture some of that and put it back towards your kids and your classroom initiatives. That's our job. That's what we do.
And I wasn't, Dr. Simpson knows this, I wasn't sure of that first. We had discussions about it.
Absolutely.
And I have challenged him on some of the things that we're talking about tonight. There's an opportunity, and I wouldn't do my due diligence if I wouldn't bring you the opportunity. Your all's decision what you all want to do. But this is an opportunity here. I think that could benefit us, not these next 5 years, but 10, 15, I look way in advance. And that's where this energy thing is going way well past my time. I'll be around 20, 30 years from now. And it's ever changing, it's ever moving, and it's fast forwarding in a hurry, and we need to be on board. But we still use, I hear, some regular light bulbs and everything like that, and as I said, we have single pane windows. The water situation is interesting in some of our schools because we've got older buildings. And we get ready to make these next moves when we build a new school, got our new property and things like that. What do we need to make that more beneficial to the kids, to the teachers, to us, the energy savings? I don't know what that's going to look like, but I think they can help us along with Stacy Group about the engineers. We'll have engineers to make sure our eyes and the engineers for Stacy Group's eyes are all seeing the same thing, we're all on the same page. That makes sense? That's important when we're doing that. Very important, and as we move forward. It's just like I said, it's ever changing. Everything's changing so fast that I think they can get us where we need to be. And they're making some, I think, some big promises. I think 900,000 gross is a lot. And if our bills are 622, I can come up with $3 million. And I know energy costs are going to go up and everything like that. I understand all that. But $3 million and 900,000, that's a third. Are we missing? Am I missing the boat on that? That's what we'll make sure of. I'm not missing the boat on this. But we can even do better than we think we can. Are we doing well? Yes. The 622 is really, in my opinion, is really low. They've done a good job. But I didn't agree that we get it down lower. And I believe we can get it down lower. And that's what we're trying to do. That's what we're trying to do.
Thanks, Cody. Thank you. We have a motion and a second. Additional discussion. Roll call, please.
Davis.
Yes.
Smedley.
Yes.
Schroeder.
Yes.
Flagg.
Yes.
Pearson.
No.
Bennett Johnson.
Yes.
5 ayes and 1 nay.
Agenda item 10M, recommendation, consideration, action upon contract with Stacy Group, Inc. for architectural services for 2021-2022.
This is the renewal of our contract with our architectural group. We bring this to the board every year at this month. And they've been with us since 2013 when we went through an RFP, and we were very pleased with the work they're doing and recommend renewal of this agreement. There were no changes to the financial considerations.
Madam President, I make a motion that we approve the contract with the Stacy Group, Inc. for architectural services for 2021-2022.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Davis.
Yes.
Smedley.
Yes.
Schroeder.
Yes.
Flagg.
Yes.
Pearson.
Yes.
Bennett Johnson.
Yes.
6 ayes, 0 nays.
Agenda item 10N, recommendation, consideration, and action on the 2021-2022 estimate of needs as prepared by Putnam and Company, ELLC, and 2021-2022 financial statement, and the authority to publish the same.
This is on pages 136 through 187 of the board packet. Ms. Chapel?
Yes, I am recommending approval for our 2021-22 estimate of needs. Did discuss this in the Finance Committee, and we are pleased with the increase they have allotted for this time, which is a 25% increase across the board. So.
Madam President, I make a motion that we approve the 2021-2022 estimate of needs as prepared by Putnam and Company, PLLC, and the 2021-2022 financial statement and the authority to publish the same.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Davis.
Yes.
Smedley.
Yes.
Schroeder.
Yes.
Flagg.
Yes.
Pearson.
Yes.
Bennett Johnson.
Yes.
6 ayes, 0 nays.
Agenda item 11, the proposed executive session for the purpose of discussing employment of personnel, FMLA request, resignation and separation from employment, and transfer of position request, all is set out in personnel reports, extra duty assignments as listed for 2021-2022, and the periodic annual evaluation in terms of employment for Dr. Michael Simpson, Superintendent's of Schools. Disclosure of which information will violate the confidentiality agreement of state and/or federal law pursuant to 25 Oklahoma Statute Section 307B, 1 and 7. You have a motion to go into executive session?
So moved.
Second?
Roll call, please.
Davis.
Yes.
Smedley.
Yes.
Schroeder.
Yes.
Flagg.
Yes.
Pearson.
Yes.
Bennett Johnson.
Yes.
6 ayes, 0 nays.
Charissa back, so I'll do that in the morning.
The board has returned to open session, and only the items of agenda number 11 were discussed in executive session and no votes were taken. This shall constitute the executive session minutes. Agenda item 12, vote on action is set out in personnel reports.
Madam President, I make a motion that we approve personnel reports.
Second. You have a motion and a second. Roll call, please.
Davis.
Yes.
Smedley.
Yes.
Schroeder.
Yes.
Flagg.
Yes.
Pearson.
Yes.
Bennett Johnson.
Yes.
6 ayes, 0 nays.
Agenda item 13, recommendation, consideration, and action upon approval of Matthew Engel as to be classified as an adjunct teacher for 2 sections of health at Guthrie Junior High School.
Madam President, make a motion we approve Matthew Engel to be classified as an adjunct teacher for 2 sessions of health at Guthrie Junior High School.
Second. You have a motion and a second. Roll call, please.
Davis.
Yes.
Smedley.
Yes.
Schroeder.
Yes.
Flagg.
Yes.
Pearson.
Yes.
Bennett Johnson.
Yes.
6 ayes, 0 nays.
Agenda item 14, action upon recommendation of extra duty assignments as listed for 2021-2022.
Madam President,
Go ahead.
I move that we approve the extra duty assignments as listed for 2021-2022.
Second.
You have a motion and a second. Roll call, please.
Davis.
Yes.
Smedley.
Yes.
Schroeder.
Yes.
Flagg.
Yes.
Pearson.
Yes.
Bennett Johnson.
Yes.
6 ayes, 0 nays.
Agenda item 15, recommendation, consideration, and action to accept any resignations offered since the posting of the agenda.
We have none.
Agenda item 16, discussion and possible action of new business not known about or cannot have been reasonably foreseen at the time of the agenda posting.
We have none.
Agenda item 17, do we have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Davis.
Yes.
Smedley.
Yes.
Schroeder.
Yes.
Flagg.
Yes.
Pearson.
Yes.
Bennett Johnson.
Yes.
6 ayes, 0